Gregory Cockery here at Guitar Center out in beautiful California. I'm here on behalf of our Fishman friends, and I'm currently playing on this Les Paul model guitar, the Fishman Fluence Classic Humbuckers. And I have to tell you, these pickups have changed my life. There's a little song called Change My Life. And I'll tell you why. Because with these Fishman Classic Humbuckers, I can have my rig set up for, like the old Les Pauls do, I might add, I can have it set up for telly wrangling, Stratocaster manipulation. All of a sudden, without even changing the EQ, I grab this guitar, plug it in, and it sounds like it's EQ'd perfectly for a Les Paul, and it sounds like Les Paul Zilla, okay? Here's the thing with Les Pauls, as I'm sure you're all familiar with. If you're mostly a Fender guy, and if you're not, I apologize, but what has stopped a lot of people over the years, I think, from enjoying the glories of what two humbucker guitars can offer, two humbucking pickup guitars can offer, is that if you're a fan, say you're in a blues rock ensemble or some kind of classic rock iteration, and you're playing a single coil oriented guitar, a lot of times you're like, oh, I'm gonna go for the Les Paul, and you plug it in and it sounds like Mudfest on the neck pickup. And then you go to the bridge pickup and you're like, that sounds a little muddy too, but you add a little distortion. Next thing you know, you do your Zeppelin medley on your bridge pickup, or your AC/DC song, or you're playing your ZZ Top medley, or Cream, whatever the case may be, on that bridge pickup. But if you go to the neck pickup, it just sounds like you got that woman tone thing happening. You know what I'm saying? So what I find so fascinating about these pickups is that no longer are you in a world where if you're a Les Paul person or 335, whatever guitar you play with two humbuckers, that it used to be you'd have to make a choice. Am I EQing around the neck pickup as my main voice, or am I EQing around the bridge pickup as my main voice? Because you kind of couldn't have both. This is just my opinion, but most of the time that was the case. Because either the neck pickup would sound glorious and well-rounded and have plenty of highs, and then you go to the bridge pickup and it sounds like a nice pick, or it sounds anemic in comparison, or vice versa. You make that neck pickup sound glorious, and then you go to the bridge pickup sound glorious, you go to the neck pickup and it sounds muddy in comparison. With these pickups, not only can you have your amp EQ'd around your more single coil oriented rig, plug this in, it's gonna sound good, but both pickups sound fantastic. So if you've seen any of the other videos I did on the Fluence pickups on GC or guitarcenter.com, I'm using the same ring. I haven't touched the EQ. So I'm plugging this Les Paul into the same amp, the same pedal that I used for my signature tally pickups and for the single width pickups that are on the Stratocaster. So as I grab this, I grab the neck pickup. It just sounds glorious. You hit a little meat. But with all the Fluence pickups, you get a second voice. So to change the voices on these pickups, it's via the two different tone controls. Now the second voice for the neck pickup is something unique on these guitars because it almost makes it kind of like a hollow body type of archtop experience. So if I go from this sound, pick up this tone control, it becomes this. But okay? Now let's go to that bridge pickup and hear that in comparison, because you got to remember what these pickups are going after is the original Seth Lover PAF humbuckers that were in those old burst Les Pauls, which were bright sounding pickups. Those were bright sounding guitars, folks. If you ever had a chance to play a real old, 57 through 1960 Les Paul standard, they were bright sounding guitars. They were like meaty sounding Telecasters. That's why a lot of the old Tele guys from the 60s that were initially Tele guys gravitated towards the Les Pauls, is because it was a kind of a meteor Telecaster with no noise. So guys like, Mike Bloomfield, who played a Tele on the Paul Butterfield record, he switched to a Les Paul. Clapton, when he was in the Yardbirds, he played a 335, but he also played a Telecaster, and when he moved on, he discovered that you take a Les Paul and you plug it into a Marshall, and the rest was history. Jeff Beck played an Esquire in the Yardbirds. He started, and then he switched to a Les Paul while he was in the Yardbirds and used it on the first couple of Jeff Beck group records, and considered to use a Les Paul throughout his career at various different times. Of course, Jimmy Page. He played a Tele in the Yardbirds when he started Zeppelin. He initially started off on a Tele and then went on to a Les Paul. So they're bright sounding guitars. So the bridge pickup on a bridge pickup on a Les Paul, as far as the old ones are concerned, it's a bright sounding pickup, but it still has some meat. And what I look for is that kind of Clapton tone from the John Mayall's Blues Breakers record. If you haven't heard that record, imagine the first time a Les Paul was plugged into Marshall to get that sound. It happened then, and it's the most glorious sound, but it's got some bite. The idea, it gets that sound. Now, if I want a little bit more beef, if I grab this and pull this up, it becomes a second voice. It's more like just something a little meatier. Let's hear both pickups together now. It should have the jangle and the sparkle that those old Les Pauls do, and this has it. So you get that kind of Mike Bloomfield-y. It's good for funk. Or any of that kind of Chet stuff is good on this. And the volume's down a little bit, you don't lose any highs. That's the thing about these pickups, ladies and gentlemen. I could bring up one of the tone controls, get the different sound. Get a little more meat for slide stuff, maybe, perhaps, maybe, They sound doggone glorious. So again, these are the Fishman Fluence Classic Humbuckers. What do they all come with? You may say to yourself. Well, they come with the pickups, they come with the volume and the tone pots. Now, as an option, you can get the lithium-ion battery. And what I have on here is on the back of this panel, lithium-ion battery is in here. I take my mini USB charger, I plug it in. And again, for an hour and a half charge, you get 300 hours of playing time. That's an awfully long time. So initially when I heard they were making humbuckers, like, well, I get the single width pickups for the Strat and doing tele pickups because you're trying to escape the noise. But what these things offer is the ability to get that very hard to get, I might add, early PAF sound You have a second option as well of having something that's a little beefier. You don't lose any highs and you turn it down. And the way that these are created, every set will sound the same. That's not to say that they're going to make every guitar sound the same. Like any good guitar pickup, they will mirror the wood and the nuances of the instrument that they're put in. But you just don't have to worry about, because with any great manufacturer pickups, and there's some great pickup manufacturers. We're not saying that, you have to throw out all your other pickups, but a particular SKU of a kind of pickup by any manufacturer, you get 10 sets of the same type of pickups. The values are going to be different from one set to the next, and they're going to sound different. So the way that these are made is that every set will sound the same, which is fantastic. Once again, to round her up, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Fishman Fluence Classic Humbuckers. Please go into your local guitar center, hold your head up high, and say, I need me some of those Fluence Classic Humbuckers because I'm ready to take this thing to the next level. Or go online to guitarcenter.com and do the same. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you cats on the flippity flop.